We have subtraction, multiplication, addition, and exponent here. What is the first thing to do then? Well, this is where most people get confused and miss this question. A lot of adults, like 95% of people, didn't get this problem right. And that number is scary, and you'd be on top of 5% people after watching this video, because I am going to explain to you to solve this kind of problem properly. So we can simply add these two numbers, like 3 and 2, and we get 5, and we can proceed from this. And instead of adding this, we can start with this multiplication. But if we simply subtract or do whatever we want and do the operation in whatever we want, we are going to get a lot of different answers, right? These answers are going to be inconsistent, and a lot of different people would get different answer, and that would make a confusion, right? So what is the correct way to solve this, and what is actually the correct way to solve this? What is the correct answer for this question? Is going to be the question you are asking yourself, right? So there is a rule we need to follow when we are solving this kind of problem, right? So that rule is called order of operation, right? So when we are doing mathematical operations like this, we have to follow a specific order in order to get the right, correct answer every single time consistently. So everybody would get similar answer, and the answer is going to be consistent, right? So that is the rule that I'm going to teach you now. It is called the order of operation, and it tells us the sequence we need to follow when we are dealing with mathematical operations like this. So let's call that OR, right? Order of operation. That is called order of operation. And the order of operation sets 4 priority. 4 priority we need to follow, or we need to prioritize. These priority are priority number 1, priority number 2, priority third, and priority fourth. So the first priority, or the first thing to solve, is parentheses. Parentheses are groups or brackets like this you see in math. There are a lot of examples about parentheses, but all are groups, right? So the groups in any expression, in any mathematical equation, the groups or the parentheses are the first thing to solve. And then after we solve the parentheses, only then we are allowed to move to exponent, right? Exponent. So exponents are number written on top of numbers, like here 2 squared. So this 2 is exponent, and it is called sometimes power. So these are the exponent, and they have second priority, right? So the third priority is multiplication and division, and multiplication and division have equal priority. And if we ever encounter multiplication and division at same equation, we have to solve the equation left to right, right? So since they both have equal priority, we are going to solve whichever comes first, right? If 10 divided by 2 times 5 is the equation, we have to solve left to right, meaning we have to solve the division before the multiplication, because the division comes first, right? And on the fourth priority number 4 is addition and subtraction. And again, with addition and subtraction, we have to solve the equation left to right. So if we do have this, we have to solve left to right, again, whichever comes first, right? So the subtraction comes first, so the subtraction is going to be the first thing to be solved. And the thing is, if we solve subtraction or addition before multiplication, that is wrong, because we didn't follow the right order or sequence to follow. So this priority is based on their weight. So groups are prioritized number one because they are group, or they are similar at some point. So exponent has a greater impact, so that is why it is prioritized, and the multiplication and division has relatively higher impact on over addition and subtraction, and that is the way mathematician decided to do this way, to do and give this priority. And let's go back into our problem to solve and get the right answer. So here we have exponent, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So the first thing to solve is parentheses, but we don't have parentheses. That means we are automatically going to move to the next arithmetic to solve, which is exponent, right? We do have exponent, so the first thing to do is to solve the exponent here. And 2 square is going to be the first thing to solve. And of course 2 square means 2 times 2. It is similar with 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 is 4, right? So we are going to put here 4. And the equation becomes 4 minus 2 times 3 plus 2. And now we have multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So the first thing to do in this particular equation is the multiplication, because the multiplication has a greater priority than both addition and subtraction. Therefore 2 times 3 is going to be the equation we need to do. So 2 times 3 gives us 6. So here the problem becomes 4 minus 6 plus 2. So what is the first thing to solve? The subtraction, because it comes first. Actually, when we come to this kind of equation where we have subtraction and addition, the answer is going to be the same. It doesn't matter which order we follow, but as a logic, as a manner, it is expected you to solve the subtraction because it comes first. So 4 minus 6 gives us negative 2, and negative 2 plus 2 is going to be 0. So the correct answer to this question is 0.